Many players use individual instructions in eFootball without really understanding them. In this video, I will show you how to use them properly, with clear examples and advanced tips that will help you control your team better. Let's start with an example. Here, I set my defensive midfielder, Kante, with the defensive instruction. This means he will stay back and protect the defense instead of moving forward. You can see how he holds his position, blocks passing lanes, and makes it harder for the opponent to attack through the middle. Now let's look in detail at the offensive instructions. Knowing when and on which player to use them is the key to keeping balance between attack and defense. There are three important offensive instructions: defensive, offensive, and anchoring. Let's start with the first one, defensive. This instruction is ideal for a DMF or CMF that needs to stay behind and protect. But I recommend using it on your DMF, whether you play with 3 defenders like me or with 4. This way, you can stop counterattacks more effectively. That's how the defensive instruction works. Now, let's move on to the offensive instruction, which is the complete opposite. This one is best for midfielders who need to join attacks. Apply it to a box-to-box player like Pedri or Bellingham, so they can support both defense and attack. With this setup, you create more attacking options and extra players inside or around the box. For example, let's look at Pedri's movement. Without the offensive instruction, he stays deeper in midfield and does not enter the box often. But with the offensive instruction, he makes forward runs, arrives inside the penalty area more frequently, and becomes available to finish the action. And finally, for anchoring, the player stays high and central without drifting too wide. This instruction should only be used on your CF or second striker who play as a target man. Avoid using it on wingers or other players. Here's a clear example with Owen. Thanks to anchoring, he positions himself just outside the penalty area without dropping into midfield. He receives the ball in a dangerous spot, makes a quick turn, and finishes with a perfect shot into the back of the net. This shows how anchoring keeps your striker in the best position to finish actions. Now that we've covered the attacking side, let's move on to the defensive instructions, which focus on how your players behave when you're out of possession. Let's start with the most important part of this section, tight marking. This instruction makes your defender apply strong pressure on the marked player the moment he is about to receive the ball. For example, let's say I apply tight marking on Batistuta and Bale. When the opponent striker is waiting for a pass, my defender immediately steps up and presses him as soon as the ball arrives. This cuts down his time and space, making it much harder for him to control the ball or turn to a return pass. The risk is that if your defender reacts too aggressively and misses the challenge, the opponent can create a dangerous chance. That's why it works best with strong, quick defenders who can recover fast. Man marking is more aggressive. Here, the defender follows the opponent's attacker almost everywhere on the pitch, even outside the defensive line. For example, if you assign man marking on Van Basten, your center back will follow him into midfield when he drops deep, or to the wings if he drifts wide. Now that you know the difference, let's look at some quick tips to use them better. Use tight marking when you want your defense to stay compact and only engage inside the danger zone. And use man marking when you want to neutralize a single key player, but be careful because it can break your defensive shape. Next is counter target. This instruction keeps a player high up the pitch when your team is defending. Instead of tracking back, he waits in position so you can launch a quick counterattack. The benefit is simple. When you win the ball, you already have an advanced option for a quick counterattack. Your team can move the ball forward faster without building from the back. Then your winger can finish the action easily. In my opinion, this is the least necessary instruction, so don't rely on it too much. Finally, we have deep line. This instruction can be applied to any position except center backs and fullbacks. It forces the player to stay deeper than usual when defending closer to your back line. In practice, the best way to use deep line is only on your DMF, and mainly when you want to protect a lead. It adds extra defensive security, but limits your attacking support, so it's not something to keep on all the time. For my personal recommendation, on offensive instruction 1, I always use anchoring on my central striker. On offensive instruction 2, I prefer going defensive by assigning it to my DMF or CMF depending on the opponent. As for defensive instruction 1, I usually set tight marking on opponents who play with 2 central strikers. That's how you use individual instructions properly in eFootball. Try these tips, test them with your team, and you will see more control in both attack and defense. If you found this helpful, drop a like, subscribe for more advanced guides, and share your favorite instruction in the comments.